everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So we have a lot to talk about today. We have this new project, and first things first, I want to do an update to the channel. So projects that will be following over the next few months will be this one, which is the unique model, heart-shaped, heart structure foil model that I've completed, nearly completed this structure frame. This is what this video is about. But first things first, I want to give a little update to the channel because, well, I have a lot to cover in the next few months. So yeah. So the first model that our project that will follow after this will probably be, well, this part one will probably be my aperture. So this aperture is something that I've been trying to get out there for a long time now, put it on my YouTube channel, but I haven't got around to it because there's never been a right time. So this is why I created my YouTube channel, is because of this project itself. So hopefully everyone enjoys it when I put it out there. So the next project after that, the third one, and the next coming months is going to be my e-bike build. So the title of that project will be called Green Beast e-bike or something like that, because I bought a really nice bike to do a full project on it, full conversion. So it's going to be a high output e-bike. The battery that I'm building for it is all genuine Samsung cells, high output, best on the market at the minute also. So each cell is 5,000 milliamp hour. The battery equates to 200 batteries, 72 volts and 50 amp hour battery, so it's quite big. So the next project after that is going to be, what do you see now what it is? I forget, my head's gone blank. The helicopter model, we have the e-bike, and we have the aperture, and there's one missing. What is it? Trying to think. The compressor. Okay, so my compressor, my old compressor, well, it's not old. I done it up. When I started my channel, approximately about a year into it, I done it up. Well, I'm going to upgrade that compressor and I'm going to make it a high output CFM, cubic feet per minute. So I'm going to turn it into 50 CFM. It is currently only 28, so it's a tandem. And what I'm doing is I'm upgrading the two pumps and the two motors for higher output air for single phase. So the smart glove also will follow in the near future, but I'll be working on that in the background too with all the other projects, but I won't be putting it on YouTube for the meantime. So there is other projects that I won't get working at before Christmas, such as the Earl Adam, my DC5 Type R project car, which is sitting here behind the camera, and also my other project car, my Honda Accord Type S. I won't put that up before Christmas because I have too much to cover. For example, this model that I'm going to do the video on here now, the much work that has went into creating this structural frame for the model itself. So as some of you have probably seen other models on my channel that I created for my girlfriend. There was two of them, and there was also one of them for my sister. The two for my girlfriend had a meaning behind it. This one has a meaning behind it too. So this project here was meant to come, well, June 23, a year after I took my girlfriend on a date, on a first date on a helicopter ride. So this is what this model is, sort of the story behind it. So yeah, I'm going to get into that now, but first things first. So it's a gift to my girlfriend again, another one, a third one. This one is going to be really unique. There's going to be a helicopter floating at the top of it here. I'm going to stand at this higher part of the heart, and she's going to stand at the lower part of the heart. There will be a nice base, resin base. The lights will like protrude up through it into the stainless steel, which will be mirror polished. All tacked together, spot welded together yet. I haven't got around to doing that yet, but I have made everything, rolled all the little loops. I've done all that work. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to move straight into this. Not taking anything away from the other models that I created on my channel. They are special too and a lot of work went into them. But this one is going to be really time consuming. So I've actually spent about, I'd say about 6 full days, or maybe 6 full days already, when I can get a chance to do this, to create what you will see in this video. So part 1. So I hope I haven't missed out on anything. Don't think so. So it was meant to come a year after first date, but maybe now you can get it 2 years after first date. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, thank you for watching. Okay, so I'm going to give a little overview of exactly what I'm trying to do here first before I move on. So I will show these models at the end of the entire video, this video. So we have the helicopter, we have the man model, the woman model, and then we have the base at the bottom. We also at the bottom have a nice mirror polished plate that the heart will be attached to with these little holes, as you can be seen here. So yeah, so that's it. A man under the left hand side of the large heart and a woman under the smaller side of the heart, which is this lower part here. So there's a lot of work in this stainless steel structure that I'm creating, but it will be worth it in the end up. So the helicopter will sit floating or hovering on top of the heart. Also we'll have propeller, rotating propeller here at this point, large one. And we'll have a propeller here at the rear of the helicopter. So that's it. We're going to move on now and start into this structural frame, and hopefully it all goes well. A lot of work here. Okay, so the first step now is to find out, well, before I start cutting these bars and placing curves in them here and there, we want to find out where the sort of stainless structure will sit with respect to the base. So the base is here. It's just printed, it's not finished, it's not finished and polished up by the hand yet. This base will be placed, well, the base will sit like this and the heart structure will protrude up this way. So I need to find out now my heights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a straight line. Well, I'm going to pick a reference point first, here. I'm going to draw a straight line across it, parallel sort of to the edge of the paper. So this line's a reference point. So this is, we want this stainless steel structure, well, this line, sort of parallel to the base. So if you understand. So what I want to do also is I want to have a gap, a 10mm gap from this lowest point here to the base. So say if I put a 10mm mark here, measure that, say 30mm. So if I go 30mm now and create another line, that's the gap that we want. What do we see? So that's the gap we want at the lowest point of the stainless structure here, which is about 10mm, to this black resin base. So what do you see if I stand this up here a minute? So that will sort of sit like so, like, well, like that. A 10mm gap between there and the first fold in that heart. So the next step now is to find out well, the distance from this line. So this is a reference point. This is the top of the base. And this is where me and well, I'll be taller. We'll stand in between the heart. So the base, resin base is 20mm deep, and the plate that goes below it, the mirror polish plate, is 2mm, so that's 22mm. So if I draw a straight line across here now. Okay, so that's it. So we need these bars to protrude further down to here. So if I draw these down, so this is the 5mm bars. So it's important that I keep these tails there, the correct length, so that they fall down and I can attach them to the stainless plate. Like so. So I'm going to start shaping this bar now, these 5mm bars here. There's one sitting here. So we'll start folding them first at this point, then we'll start placing the curve onto it, and hopefully it goes well. Okay, so we have the template ready. We have the round bar marked and ready to go. We also have this little bit of stainless and another piece of stainless folded beforehand. So what these bits of stainless for is just to protect the tooling on my little 3-in-1 press. I done it up about a year ago, a couple of years ago maybe actually about 18 months ago. So I don't want to damage it. So these here bits of stainless is there to stop the round bar digging into the tooling. That's all they're for. So quite just protecting it, don't want to damage it. So we're going to start folding this now. First fold, placing the bit of stainless on top of the round bar. So basically what it does, it sort of evens the pressure out and stops this one point digging into the tool. So here we go. One fold first. That looks good. So what do we see if we can do this now? Wee bit more, need a wee bit more leverage, hold on. There we go. So there's one fold. Let me see if I place it on the template here. So you can see I need to go more yet. Take it on round to about 45 degrees. So I'll do that now and take loads of pictures, and yeah, hopefully it all goes well. So that looks good for height too. So I'll keep on rocking here, and yeah, might need to put a wee bit of heat on this just to get it on round. But we'll give it a go here now. Okay, so we've got the fold complete for this first part of this 5mm bar. So what I need to do now is create this curve starting at the fold point. So it's a slight curve, and then it all of a sudden it becomes quite more gradual and takes shape more at this point. So what I'm going to do here is put the camera on the stand. So hopefully that should be okay here now. There we go. So what I need to do is place the bar into this middle section of the roller. So it's on there now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling it gradually. So that's it. We can apply more pressure if needed, but remember that the curve is slight at this point. So that's not enough at the minute. Still not enough. So next step then will be to tighten the roller at the back. Oh, it's turning. So I have to keep my hand on it. Okay, so that's not enough yet. There we go. So that looks good. So if it's overrolled, what I can do is I can straighten it a wee bit with my hand if needed. Put the shifter on this to keep it straight. So it's quite tricky because you're working at two ends of the machine, so it might be better putting the handle over that side. So I'll do that now and I'll start again. Okay, so we have this curved rolled a little bit. You can see it's sort of taking shape. So what I want to do now is I want to start adding a radius of approximately, you put on next here, 3 inches, starting at this point. And I probably will end up finishing about here. So we'll do that now. I'm going to do it off camera because it's quite difficult doing this when the camera's running, making sure not to damage the bar. But you get the gist of it anyway, how I'm doing it, and hopefully it turns out well in the end up. Might need to tweak this a wee bit and do a nice even curve, but we will get there in the end. I'll take loads of pictures and yeah, we'll keep going here. Okay, so we have one rolled, the larger radius, the larger part of the heart even, on the outside. So I was, when I was demoing there, rolling that, I was working off the inside edge. I should have been working on this one, which is a 100mm radius at this point. So it's quite a long process getting this right. So if I was to push down here at this point now, let's see if I get my knee up on it. If I push down at this point now and work out to here, you can see how neat the little stainless bar takes to the template. What do you see? So that's me being over the top fussy again. So what I'm going to keep doing here is I'm going to keep working this 5mm bar, the 4 pieces. So 1, 2, 3 and a 4. I mightn't have enough. I've only got another meter and this bit here left, so hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. If I don't, I might need to weld a couple of bits together and polish it up. But yeah, I'm going to keep taking pictures because it's a long process. So this is all worked by hand. It's just not placed onto these little rollers to shape it. So quite tricky. So once this is done, then I'll start recording, making video clips of assembling all these little 40 rings, welding them together. We're creating them first, and then welding them together. So that'll be much easier because it's not 5mm, it's 2.4mm and 3.2. So 3.2 is going to be for this run here, so it'll be much easier. That could be nearly done by hand. Don't need this sheet metal format at all. So, or metal worker. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut the camera down, take loads of pictures, and keep on doing what I'm doing here till I get there. Okay, so I have finally finished forming these bars now. If I was to hold the camera like this and to look down, you could see that the bars all sit within the template. So my next step now is forming these rings on the inside that will connect these main bars together. To do that, well, first things first, there's 20 rings approximately each side. What do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so there's 19 at this side and 21 at this side, I think. So we have 40 rings to roll. What I'm going to do is these rings is going to be 2.4mm, so I'm using welding rod, 316 welding rod. So the 316 rod should be easily rolled around this tube, this pipe. So it's a 3/4 galvanized pipe. So what I've done here is I've bored a hole in the end of it, like such. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the galvanized bar against the rod. When that's complete, the 40 rings are rolled. We're going to run the grinder up the side of the galvanized tube, well, the stainless rings then. We will cut them into individual rings and then we will tack them all together. One tack in each ring, nothing major, no major welding, just one small tack. When that is complete, we have these 3.2mm rods. These 3.2mm rods will start and will create another frame up the outside of it to meet in a point here again. So much similar to what we've done here at the minute, only it'll be much easier to bend as it's 3.2mm and not 5mm ground bar. So we're going to start rolling these rings now around this galvanized pipe and hopefully it all goes well. Okay, so I am ready now to roll these 40 rings. So I'm not sure how many rings I will get out of this actual welding rod, which is 1 meter long. But I think I will approximately get about 15 to 20 rings out of each of them. So using this tool with basically just a piece of galvanized pipe with a hole in it. So the hole's 3mm and the rod's 2.4mm. So we're going to start rolling these now. It's important to, well, I don't want to put heat in these because I don't want to start polishing them all up. It's different with this frame. There's only 2 main runners or 2 main bars. It'll be easy polished up if there's any marks in it. So these rings now, I'm going to start rolling them around this galvanized tube. So you can see here I have a right glove on. That's because I'll be turning the bar, or sorry, the pipe, the galvanized pipe, against the rod. Hopefully it goes well. So I'm going to start this now, and hopefully I'm on view here. So basically turning the galvanized pipe, keeping the rod as tight as possible to the galvanized pipe, so it's a nice round circle. Also, when I'm doing this, you want to keep the rod, the rings even, as tight to each other as possible. So it's quite a pull. So I'll just keep going and hopefully it goes alright. It'd be good to have a big lathe at this point, so you could just switch the lathe on and hold the bar in one spot. But this is doing the job. So if 4 rings rolled, what do we see if I bring it onto view here? See the 4 rings? So it works quite well. So what I'm going to do in the end up is I'm just going to slice right down this, all the rings, with a grinder. And I'd say I'm coming close to halfway down this 1 meter rod, so I've only got approximately 4 to 5 rings rolled. So we'll keep on motoring here. Sore in our hands. But it does the job. So I'm not going to do them all, I'm just going to do this one rod to show how I'm doing it. So you can see the pipe springing back here now. If I really wanted to, I could apply a bit of heat here to keep these rings tighter, but I'm not going to. I'm going to cut them and weld them. So what do we see now? So there you go. When I bring the grinder in, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rings. If maybe just 9 even. So that means I need to roll 4 more to give me extra rings. So what I'll do here now is I will cut this off, just to show you exactly what I've done here. Okay. So removing the little rod that's in the hole, so we can slide this off. So we have the rings. Well, technically I will when I slice them down here, and I will have about 9. Then what I'll do is I'll weld them together, 1 wee tack, and we will start assembling this heart. So I have a lot to do before that, so I'll keep on motoring here. Okay, so I've come up with a different plan here now. So this lathe, my friend has lent me his lathe again to do this little project. So what I'm going to do here, right, is I'm going to make a new tool to roll the welding rods round. I had to purchase more welding rods, 2.4mm, because the other way I done this didn't work. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to bore a new hole on the end of this bar. So this bar I'm using here is 25mm, solid bar. I'm going to turn it down to 24mm. So when I get the rings here, and then I'll demo what I'm exactly doing. So we have the ring that I currently rolled here on what do you call it, on the galvanized pipe. So this is the one that I done on the galvanized pipe. So never worry about the big gap between the 2 ends. That's just me squeezing it in when I cut it. I shouldn't have done that. But this ring has come out at approximately, I think it's, what do I get my verniers here? This ring has come out at approximately 34 millimeters, 35 even. We want this ring to be approximately about 31 or 30 and a half, so it squeezes in to 30 when I'm finished with it. So what I'm going to do here now is we're going to make a new tool. We're going to bore a hole in the end of this bar first, then we're going to start rolling the new welding rods down a new welding rod bar down this solid bar. So keeping it nice and tight, just the same way I done it on the galvanized tube. So first things first, we're going to bore a hole here in the end of this. So this is going to hold the welding rod. Okay, so that's enough. Let me see if I get a rod here now. So just checking the rod fits into the hole. There we go. So next thing I want to do now is turn this down to approximately 24 mil, about 3 inches up it. As I mentioned before, I hope to get 9 turns on this with 1 meter welding rod in length. So I'm going to turn this down now, and then we're going to start rolling these rings, and hopefully they turn out better now on the lathe. So I'm not going to use the lathe as such to create the rings or roll the rings. I'm going to take it out of gear, and I'm going to use the chuck to pull the rod around the bar. So putting the lathe back in the gear here, we're going to turn this down. So we won't be using this galvanized tube no more. The galvanized tube measures 33 mil. Turn on, let me see. Sorry, I could tell lies again. So, sorry, it measures 27 mil. So the rings was 35 mil on the outside. So it was clearly too big. So we'll turn this down now. So we want to take a mil off this. So I'll take a wee bit off at the start here. Let's here now. Give it a wee measure. So it's 24.7, so we're a bit to go yet. Okay, so I think that's probably close enough there now. Okay, so we're at 23.54. That's should be okay when we now go to roll these little bars. So we'll do that now. Then we'll see how that goes compared to the galvanized pipe. Okay, so I decided to remove another couple of tenths of a mil to bring the rings into 30 mil. So I'm going to try and keep it as close to the model or close to the image, the plans that I have created, because we want the outer bars to be in line with the outside of the heart. We don't want them sitting out too far. Just makes the assembling of it more difficult on the plans. So I am removing 0.2 of a mil, 0.2 to bring it into 30 mil, bring the rings into 30 mil. So hopefully that's enough. So it was 23.7, so yeah, 23.5 now, so yeah, so 2 tenths or 3 tenths of a mil. So next step now is rolling these, so we can turn the lathe off, and we're going to start rolling all these rods. We're going to do 6 for the meantime. Okay, so again, placing the rod into the little tool that I have created. We'll zoom the camera in a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't go out of focus. Looks good. So we'll roll this one here now. Lathe out of gear. pulling the rod tight. It's about 7 there now. Keeping the rod tight. Oh. There we go. So that's it. Looks good enough. So hopefully now when we cut these, they do go into 30mm. Do a wee quick measurement here. So they're measuring now 30.95, so a wee bit less. 2/10 less, which we want. We don't want them bigger than 31. So hopefully we cut these now, squeeze them around the 30mm. Okay, so if I measure the rings that I rolled on the galvanized pipe compared to the ones that I rolled there now, well, if I compare them beside each other first, we can see that the ring, there's one big ring and one smaller ring, and one with a nice neat gap, a smaller gap, which we want. We want a smaller gap, we don't want a big gap, because when we pull this in, the ring becomes, well, not round no more, much more like an egg. So forgetting about that big ring now, we're going to focus on these smaller ones. So here are the two that were done there now, the test pieces. So if I measure this ring now, we want it to be close to 31mm. So there we go, 31.0502. So the reason I want it bigger, as I mentioned a wee minute ago, is when I squeeze this in this ring and put a wee weld here, once I line it up first, so when I mean line it up, I have to line up these two faces first, this way. So that's simply done just by pulling it with the hands. Let me see, I'll do one here. Well, I'll put this burner in my pocket a minute. So if I get this ring, I should probably put gloves on to do this, but just pulling it over like so until they're in line. As simple as that. Then we also need to clean the burr, or them two faces, to make sure that they're nice and neat when we go to weld them together. So if I measure this ring now, when it's squeezed in, it should be approximately 30mm. Okay, so it's much bigger because there's a burr inside. So when I get this other ring in my pocket here, okay. So if I measure this one, okay, there we go. So 30.02mm. When I squeeze it in tight till the two faces are touching. We have to line them up again too also. So roughly lining up there. Just giving a wee demonstration here of the ring. And you can see there at the minute saying 30.5. Well, if I clean the face here, will I get the grinder 2 seconds? If I clean the face and then I squeeze them in. Okay, so we'll try that again now. So 30.29, not far away. So if we get them all in around 30mm, 30.2, they'll be grand. So we're going to start rolling these now. Yeah, on the lathe of course. So we'll do 6 rods because I believe I can get 11 rings out of 1 rod. So we'll start doing that now. Okay, so we're ready here now to start rolling these. So I'm going to do one more demo of rolling 1 rod. So the lathe is out of gear. We'll move this tool post away over here. So we're going to start the same process again. Keeping the rod tight in the hole, the 2.5mm hole that I have bored, drilled out, we are going to go downhill or uphill. Yeah, we're going to go uphill. We're going to create 11 rings, hopefully, nice, neat fashion. So we want these tight as possible. We don't want a gap. We don't want gaps between the rings like this, because it means the overlap is much more and harder to pull in. So the tighter we get the rings together, the better. So here we go. Put all my focus into this rod now. So starting with the first one, but now pulling the rod tight. So I've got a good pull on this rod, and we want to keep the as straight as possible, so it is guided to the next bar that has been, or next ring that's been rolled. So here we go. That's a good one there. That's a good one. Sweat's run off me. Okay, so that turned out well, that one. So what I see, I just keep this tight. Okay, so that's perfect. That one turned out really well. So see, when I let go there, the spring, you can see the rings are still nice and tight. When I released this one, I ended up with gap here, gap there, and gap everywhere, to be honest. So I'm going to do 6 of these off camera, and I move the camera back out of my way to get them perfect. This one can be used for the spare rings. I'll demo cutting this off, removing it. So I'll go to the side of the lathe. So what we want to do is we want to cut in. We don't want to touch the first ring. Put them off. There we go. Then we need to make sure to remove the piece of scrap out of the hole. That's it. So, final demonstration here. See how tight there? Beautiful. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So take away the scrap ends. We have probably 10 rings. So we'll roll all these and then we'll cut them in the next video clip. So, good job. Okay, so on to the next step, now that that process is complete. So, we have the main skeleton frame here, ready to be welded. Then we can place the rings into it. Well, a ring here and there, so probably one at this point, one at this point, one here. We'll probably start off by placing about 6 rings into this heart shape. These 2 bars, stainless bars. Well, 4 pieces at the minute. So the next step after that now is go back to the template. So you can see all the singular rings, 40 of them. We have the guts of approximately 60 there, so we have 20 extra. We need 40. So we'll start, as I mentioned, tacking each one of these rings into the model, the main frame part of the model. So I'm either going to tack them with a TIG, or either I'm going to spot weld them together, or create some sort of welding mechanism, mechanical clamp that allows me to get in between the rings. So the next step now is well, doing the exact same thing as I did to this main frame, shaping 3.2mm welding rod to match this part of the template, which finger is following here. Again, we'll have a point here where the 2 rods will be welded together. So this will be one part of the rod, and then we'll have another part of the rod here. Then they will follow down into the base, just as the other thicker 5mm ones does. So we're going to start that now. We're going to start by creating this fold at this point. As you can see, it's quite sharp. And then we're going to sort of form the rest of it with using my hands, and we'll put a set of gloves on. Don't think we require the rolling machine this time, as we're using 3.2mm, not 5mm. So we'll start this now and hopefully that goes well. Okay, so we have the template ready. We have the new rings that I'm going to cut now. But first things first, I'm just going to compare them. So these is the first set of rings that I rolled using the lathe. You can see they're far too big. You can see the ring gap is too much too. So these rings were under tension. So basically I'll pick one of these ones just to show, to demonstrate this. So if I was to tighten this in now with the two wire ends, that's how I cut these ones. Made a wee mistake. So forget about them ones now anyway, we're going to focus on these ones. So they're too big anyway. So if I get this ring here now, which is, I think it's approximately 30mm, it sits in, well, perfectly between these two bars. The main 5mm bars of the frame. The heart. So when I have these all cut, I'm going to demo that now, but I'm going to put a face mask on here because my air fed, the battery is down. So I won't be speaking through this process, but I'm going to cut all these rings now. I'll probably end up with 9 times 9. So 80, approximately 81. So I only need 50, so I'll pick 50, or sorry, I only need 40, so I'm going to pick 40 good rings. And then we'll start moving on to the process of installing them or assembling this heart together. Because as you can see here, we have 4 pieces, 4 main frames. 2 pieces to each main frame, I should say. And then we're going to move on then and make this inner surround. So that's going to be done out of 3.2mm rod. So that's a 3.2, 316 stainless. And this is a 2.4, so I won't be using this again. That has been used with the rings there. So much easier to bend this time. I'll hopefully shape it with this inner part of this heart. As we're using 3.2, I might be able to do it with my hand, apart from this sharp bend here. So I'm going to start on now cutting all these and hopefully it all goes well. So you can see here the first ring of this one, well, it's wider than I wanted, so that's why I have made so many, so there's no defects, and we pick good 40 good rings even. So we'll do that now. Okay, so first things before I start here, I'm going to run this cutting disc in. So I'm doing that because I don't want the grinder to start jumping on the stainless rings, as it will mark them. We want a nice straight cut. We don't want nothing else, so we don't want any marks to the left or any marks to the right of the cut. So that's what this plate's for. I'm going to run the disc in first. So then when that's done, I'm going to start tracking each one of these. Well, what can I call it? Ring collections, ring bank, spiral ring, I don't know. But we're just going to mark each one of them right down about 9/10 of the way through, or 90% of the way through. We don't want to go right through because we want something to hold on to here, and what I'm holding on to is the 9 rings together tight. So I'm going to cut these nice and even now, picking the appropriate spot where I'll get the most rings, decent rings from, which will be probably here at this point, because you can see the ring starts to widen out here, and you can see there's a bad end here. So if we cut anywhere about here nice and straight. So I'm not going to clamp it in the vise, I'm going to hold it in my hand. Reason being, I don't want to mark the rings. I'm going to use this TIG glove, well, so the heat doesn't propagate into my hand. Yeah, so we'll start this now, and yeah, take it from there. Okay, so let's take this face mask off. So they should be able to be pulled apart now. If you look at the back of them, you can see the grinder mark, the temperature has increased at the point where the grinder has nearly made its way through. So I'm going to keep on cutting the other 9 here, and then I'll take them apart and I'll demo how to do that. Okay, so that's it. We're now ready to split these, so I'm going to keep the glove on. You could probably you probably noticed that I set one ring bank aside, or ring collection. The reason being is it was a wee bit gappy, so when I was cutting it with the grinder I noticed a couple of them was a wee bit gappy compared to the rest. These ones is all perfect. We have more than enough rings, so I'm going to start pulling these apart now, then we can tidy them up. So any of them it's hard to come apart, I can just give them a wee cut again. So some of them is quite more difficult to pull apart than the others, depending on the cut. So 3 bundles to do. So we must be approached 50 rings here now. So obviously I'm going to have to clean the ends in each one of them. This will be done using the grinder too. So that wee final cut makes it much easier to pull apart. The heat being in it too. The heat from the cutting process. So we're nearly done. See, the man's just got a wee tarnish on them, a wee brownness. That can be polished out in the end if need be. It might have been the first ring that I cut, first bundle even. So I'm just going to set that aside. So that's it. I'll take a couple of them bad ones out. So the next process now is cleaning the ends. So basically run the grinder through this little slot, and then we're going to line them all up. Okay, so we're going to select 40 rings now, and we're going to clean the ends of them. Okay, so I think I've done about 50 there. Just going by the eye. So there looks to be more in this bundle and this bundle. We've definitely done 40 rings. If not, I'll keep on cutting them here and cleaning them, or cleaning the ends even. So next process now is thinking about going to line them up first. So line the 2 ends up, and then we're going to weld them. We might weld them, or I might just leave them the way they are. Sorry, I have the mask over my mouth here still. So yeah, we'll start that now, and might try welding one for the meantime, or just fusing it together. One wee small tack at the back of it. So we'll start that now. Okay, so we have 60 rings here. So we have, we need 40, I was going to say 400. Thankfully not. So we need 40. I have 20 spare. I'm going to weld all of them. So before I do that, I have to line the 2 faces, or the 2 ring ends up before I weld them. So I've decided to go against keeping an open gap in the model. I just want to complete the ring. So I want to weld them rather than them sitting on the model with an opened end or a gap even visible. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to line up the 60 rings basically by just squeezing them like this sideways till the two end gaps become in line. So I'll demo this using a pair of gloves on because it's sore in the fingers. So this one's nearly in shape. So this one now is in shape, ready to be squeezed and welded. So I will put pressure on the ring to weld it to bring it into 30mm. So one more, again just a wee demo here. So we have one ring out of alignment. So this is due to the rolling process, as you have seen there earlier. So again, bring it into the two faces into alignment. Just be squeezing it, and there we go, perfect. So I have 60 of these rings to do now, so I'm going to do a few here and then we're going to move on to the welding process. We have a lot to cover in this little model, and this is only one part of it, this heart. So here we go again. Perfect. Some of them's quite difficult to pull over. Sore in the fingers, the finger bones. Okay, so I'll continue on here and then I will start the next video clip with the welding process. Okay, so what do I show you here? So I've done approximately 20 rings. My hands have become quite sore, as you'd expect. So I have decided to do the next, well, I think I've done over 20 rings, considering there's only about 25 left here, so I've probably done half. So I've decided to come up with a better way of doing this, so it doesn't hurt my fingers. The two index fingers is quite sore. So what I'm going to do now, or what I have been doing for the last few rings, is using this shifter. A quite large one. So this shifter actually goes out to 55mm, so it's quite big. What we want for this job. So what I'm doing now is I'm placing the ring into the shifter, half of it, like so. And I'm basically pushing the other part, or the other end, sorry, of the ring over until the two faces are in line, like so, for the welding process. So I will do a few more here just to show what I'm doing exactly and how much more effective it is. Efficient. Some of these rings is not too bad, and some of them is a wee bit more difficult to push over. It may have something to do with the grain of the welding rod, the way the grain's running. Okay, there we go. So much more easier in the hands. So this time I'm just using my thumb. Okay, so I'll keep on doing these and then we'll start the welding process in a few minutes. Okay, so we are now ready to start the welding process of the 40 rings plus the 20 extra rings that are there for backup. So we have a gap in each one of the rings, 1 mil thick, a wee bit more just for the cleaning process, the edges, the faces even. So I have come up with a way now to squeeze these rings so we can bring them together in a nice neat manner, so we can weld them perfectly on the inside at the back of them. So to do this I'm going to use this shifter again. So I will place the ring, each ring, into the shifter like so, and I will basically bring the gap together using the little mechanism in the shifter. So there we go. So that ring is now ready to be welded. When I weld this back face, or this back edge even, on the inside, you'd expect the ring to sort of sit in an egg shape when I'm finished, when I release it. So I will then straighten each ring and be giving it a little slap of a mallet against a piece of timber. So I'm going to start the welding process here now, and yeah, I'll just go through the first 5 rings, welding them. I'm not going to do 60 obviously, so here we go. Okay, so we have the ring and the shifter. We have the shifter with the air clamp connected to the edge of it, to the end of it. The next step now is to basically push the ring down until it's sitting on this bit of stainless. That's to ensure that the ring is lined up, the 2 faces. So I'm going to start here now and weld this. The welder's set, the TIG welder's set with 15 amps current max. So here we go. So it's as simple as that. We flash, and we have 1 ring complete. So what do you see here if I can demo straightening this? So there's a mallet sitting here. So if you look at this ring now, you could probably tell it is a wee tooty bit out from being round. So to straighten this, it's a wee bit hot now, so what I put this glove on. To straighten this, what I'm doing here is simply, let me see if I can demo this clearly. Let me see if I go back a wee bit here. So I'll do it here, just on top of the shifter with this ring. So what you want to do here is give it a wee tap on a flat surface to bring it back into a nice round shape. So that's it, finished. We're going to start now welding 59 more. So I'll just demo welding a couple more here. So again, placing the ring into the shifter, like so, tightening it up. Don't like that, right? So we'll go on to the next one. Don't like that one either. Let me see if I got a good one here. So you can see now I've made 20 extra rings. Okay, I can love that one. So pushing the 2 ends of the ring into the stainless and just flashing it with the TIG again. So the quicker you release the pressure, the better off the ring, so it doesn't go into an egg shape. So there we go, there's another one complete. So I'll not really get into that at the minute, but these welds will be hidden in the heart model. They'll be placed towards the main structure. So this will be a weld point. You won't see no gap at this back end. So again, giving it a wee straighten. It's hot, so let me put my glove on. Just hitting it gently. And that's enough. So I think I'll move on now and do the rest of the rings off camera. A lot of work on this, so I'm going to keep motoring on here. And we will move on to the next stage when I've complete this process. So I'm only going to do 40 rings here. Maybe 45, just for 5 spare. So here we go. I'll do a couple more actually. Just to show the level of how much work I'm putting into this wee thing. Oh, there's the air clamp falling off. So some of these rings I don't like. We're going to need work with. Okay, so that's okay. That one. ready to rock again. Another one bites the dust. So again, be straighten. Okay, there we go. So hopefully you can see that nice and clear. What do we see here if I bring it up? Having the focus. Good. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to finish off the rest of these rings. And then we'll move on to the next stage. So hopefully all goes well. Okay, so again, we're going to place the 3.2mm rod into the sheet metal worker. We're going to use these little, little cuttings of stainless I have made to reduce damage on the tooling. So if I set this on here at the black mark, which is approximately 60mm, I'm leaving it 10mm longer so I can cut it or trim it to size. So holding a little piece up, we're just going to create a little bend in this. Okay, so that's enough at the minute, just to take it and look at it. So when I take the camera off here. So what I'm looking to do here is create folds like this, and then I'm going to start, you can see I went way past it there. So I can either cut this rod or just get a new one. We have a bunch of them here, 20 welding rods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it this side. So at that side it's good, so we can go a wee bit more. So I'm going to fold this a little bit more, and then I'm going to start shaping it here into the curvature of the frame of the heart. So we'll try another little bit here. Okay, so another little bit just. Okay, so that's be enough. If it isn't, I'll do it off camera and take loads of pictures. So what do I just sample here again? Okay, so that's looking perfect. So what I'm going to do here now is put the camera on the stand. I'm going to shape this into this point. We need two of these because we need one for the other side too. You have to remember that. So it's different from these ones. We need one back and front. Or side and side. We need one front for the front face here and one for the back face. So again, it's just two of each. This time they're the same size. If you can imagine looking down on it here, this is going to be the same as it is at the other side. The last time, this radius is smaller and this radius is bigger. So we'll start shaping this now, and hopefully it'll be much easier than doing the 5mm. Okay, so resting this piece of stainless on top of this part of the heart, we can see, well, there's a very large radius at this point. So it's just off straight, a slight curve in it. Then the radius starts decreasing at this point. So roughly to approximately about, say, here at this point, 100mm radius. So I now, I was going to use my hands to form this. I will use my hands to form this a small curvature here. But at this point, I'm not going to use my hands because I'd end up having flat spots in the heart itself at the curve. So rather than do this, I'm going to go to the sheet metal worker now, using the rollers, just as we did with this 5mm round bar. So we're going to do that now, so I'll take the camera up. Okay, so I have marked where this radius, this smaller radius needs to start. So I'm going to place the 3.2mm rod, welding rod, into the sheet metal worker. We are now going to tighten the rollers up to the rod. So I think that's about, so we want the curve to roughly start there. So we're going to try this here now. So what do I set this yacht up? Making sure to have the curve in the right place with respect to this upright, I'm going to call it, attachment. So I think that's about right there now. A wee bit more tightening there. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so that's not enough. Give her a wee tighten again. So you can see the curve forming there now. However, it's nowhere near enough. So giving her a tighten again. Then go back away. So the reason I'm doing it this way, as I mentioned, is because I don't want to use my hands, as it'll end up looking flat in places. A bit more work on it this way right now. So we're going to keep going yet. We can take it back the way, but much easier than trying to take it or create the curve even. So once the curve's there, we can reduce the curve. Okay, so a wee bit more, and then we're going to go to the model again. Or sorry, not the model, template. Okay, that's it. Back off. Back over to the table here now, just. And hopefully this looks okay. See what do we see here if I can get through. Okay. So where do I lower this down now? Okay, so you can see there at the minute it looks nothing like it. However, I can now work with it with the hands much better when the curve's in it, rather than trying to create the curve with my hands. So we can see we need a flat spot here. We'll take this curve out a wee bit. Okay, so we're getting there. Tricky process. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad there now. So now we know in future not to compass this mark. But we need the radius decreased at this point yet. It's too big. So we might just try and pull it under the hands here, or we might put it back onto the roller. So I'll take loads of pictures and we'll follow on video on this one. Next step. So we need 4 of these. I've only touched on sort of forming this one, so we will then do the left hand side. Might keep on video on it here, but it's quite a lengthy process, footery process, so I think it's probably best just to take loads of pictures here at this point. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this one into spec, and I'm going to do the other 3 off camera because it's quite footery. So we'll keep forming this here now with the hands. Just sort of demoing how I created this, this wire frame. So you can see at this point, the wire frame needs pulled in. So basically what I'll do, I'll get my thumbs up here at this point and just keep nudging it gently to decrease the radius. We don't want any flat points, so we'll just do it slowly, taking our time. So you can see there now I'm coming into, I need to meet at this point, so I probably will put it back into the sheet metal worker here, the rollers, for a couple of minutes. Okay, so just demoing here this last little part of the side. So we have our in position, ready to be rolled. So I'm just going to give it a wee bit more, work it more for a wee titty bit here at the end here, just, then we'll do the rest with our hands again. Okay, so I think that's okay now. I'll take it back over to the template. Okay, so hopefully you can see it nice and clear again. So I'll probably work the rest of it now with the hand. So gently going round again. Slow process. So I'm going to just stop the camera, take pictures as I mentioned, and hopefully you enjoy. Okay, so we have one 3.2mm bar complete. We have it at the bottom of the base where it's meant to be, and we have it finishing at the point here. You can also see how it fits inside the black line as it should in the template. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to do the other 3 smaller bars, 3.2mm bars, off camera. I'll take loads of pictures because there's quite a lot of work on it, as you have seen, getting them right. Just so I focus all my attention on the part of the model required. So I'm going to select 3 of these bars now, and then we're going to do 3 more pieces. Then we're going to move on to the welding process. So the welding process would be much more interesting when you see everything come together and end up. So I hope you all enjoy, and thank you for watching. Okay, so that is all the stainless bars formed. The stainless parts or components. So we have 4 of these 3.2mm bars. So we have one here and another here. So we have 2 that are identical. If I was to place them over the top of each other. So those 2 are identical. We have 2 more at the right hand side that are also identical. And then we have the inner part of the heart, the 5mm bar, and we have the outer part, the 5mm bar. So the next step now is assembling this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off the video part 2 and take it from there. So looking good. Okay everyone, so as you've seen, there's a lot of work in creating these pieces. So now, just to go over this again, we have 4 5mm bars, specially shaped to match the template. We also have 4 3.2mm stainless, 316 stainless bars, and we also have the 60 rings. So I will not be using the 60, I'll be selecting 40 good neat rings. The 60 of them are good, but keeping in mind I still have to polish these into a mirror finish as I do these 8 bars, 8 pieces plus these 60 rings. So the reason I stopped here part 1 is because this is going to take a long time assembling it, because I want to have it into a mirror finish. I also don't want to see the welds, so I might have to create some sort of a special device that sort of, what do you see if I can get a ring here, that welds these rings to the bars without seeing the welds themselves. So again, the next video, well, the next part of this project will be part 2. I will be forming the heart, the structural heart itself. So basically, what do we see here? I have the models. So we have the model that represents Donna, already printed in crystal clear resin. We have, let me see if I can lift these. They go, let me see, it's going to fall because it's all sticky still, it's not cured. So we have, well, I'll just take the paper away. The model that represents me, crystal clear, standing 6 foot tall. So that will be placed in here, the side of the heart. And Donna will be placed at the side of the heart. And both of us will stand on the platform. This platform is here, that you shall have seen at the start of this video. That I was demoing it down here, this position. So this will be down here, so then the lights will protrude up through it. And one other thing, before I wrap this video up, we will have the helicopter at the top. Let me see if I can get this in by blocking it. We'll have the helicopter at the top of the model with propellers working, of course. We will have the lights, signal lights on the helicopter and everything working. So again, it's a little gift to show the love to my girlfriend. Yeah, so without getting too cringy there. So that's it. Next video will be part 2. I hope you enjoyed. Next video on my channel will either be the Aperture, as I say, or my e-bike build. Thank you for watching, everyone, and do come again. Bye bye. Okay, so here's the additional manufacturing stage that I usually cover in all my videos. So additional photos, few photos here. So here we have the blank template. The selection of stainless steel rods that I got first before I done anything. Here we have the galvanized pipe that was never used. We moved on to a lathe. This is the little tools that I use to protect my sheet metal worker or former. Just an idea of where the base will sit on the wire frame. Here we have the main rolling of the main 5mm bar frame, skeleton part of the frame. Again, another image of it. And at this point we have 3 main bars bent, or rolled, shall I say. After this, I then moved on to forming the rings. When the rings were formed, they needed to be welded at this stage. So it was approximately 60 rings. I think at this stage 40 was selected. Only 40 is required. 21 at one side and 19 at the other side, smaller side. So here we have the bars laid out where they are going to be, roughly. At this stage we are squeezing the ring together to be welded. When it's welded, it is then hammered into like a round shape as they did become a wee egg slightly. So here we have a bundle of 60 rings. So this stainless is 316 grade too, by the way. So we are ready to assemble the model. Well, first things first, I had to roll these 3.2mm bars for the outside of the heart, the back face and the front face. And then we are ready for, well, assembly. So we'll do that in part 2 of the video. Yeah, so hopefully everyone enjoyed. Thank you for watching.
Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Jeffrey's channel and turn on post notifications. Bye!